Go. Let's see.
Yes. This is the HL Podcast. Today's date is April 3rd, 2025. The show is presented by way of StreamYard. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and IG. This is the podcast for the people. I am Amrock. That is Devontae. And we are blessed to be here with our guy, Tulsa's own DJ No Name.
Yes, sir.
Building back.
How y'all fellas doing?
Yeah, it feels good to be here. Like I said, I already seen the subjects at hand, so I've been looking forward to this moment right here so we can get it going.
Yes, sir. Dez, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Chilling. Always here with the family, so you can't complain, man. It's good to be with y'all.
What's up?
Absolutely. Same, man. Same. Well, yeah. We got a lot to get into. We've been gone for a minute. It's been, about a month? Shoot. Man. Lots been going Lots been going on. We're going to talk about y'all boy Trump. All right, y'all President Trump.
This nigga starting early.
We're going to talk about this Final Four, the men's and the women's set. Of course, we're going to talk about the left hooks that Stephen A. Smith wish he could land on LeBron James. All right, a special shout out is coming for a certain basketball hoop star. We're going to talk about the Michael Jackson biopic. We got some special news happening with that. Sinners is coming out. T-minus 2 weeks. It is on and popping. We're going to see white people getting their head slashed off. Hopefully. No, I'm joking. Our top 5 or 10 is going to be a special one. So, look, people, today we're just going to jump right into the politics with the HL news. All right. Normally we do the most unknown, but today we just want to get right into it, jump right into it. And yes, again, we got to talk about y'all president, Donald Trump. All right.
Where do you get these pictures, bro?
We got to talk about y'all president, man. This guy is dropping tariffs. All right. About to cause the consumers $3,500 extra a year in taxes. Okay, this man has said he wants to run for a third term. He also stated that while he was running, he told the crowd, I forget where they was at, but he was like, yeah, y'all won't, I ain't got to worry about the elections too much longer. Y'all ain't got to worry about this. People forgot that he said that, right? So he already intended to run a third term. And the thing about that is, just like when FDR ran for 4, he did under the sense of state of emergency, because guess what? The country was at what? War. And we all see what Trump is trying to do here, push the country more and more, not even to an international or world war, but ultimately a domestic and civil. Right? And then he says, oh, well, if Obama ran, I would beat him, for my third term. Trump, nigga, please. All right. You ain't beating the how you acting and performing right now, you would definitely not beat Obama. I'm not the one to say Obama was the best president, but damn it, he was way better than this shit that we getting right now. And at this point, first question, should Obama actually be allowed to run again if Trump is able to run for a third term? That should open up the floodgates with that. And I want to get your thoughts on, just the tariffs that are happening with Trump and Elon Musk obviously attacking, Social Security, which, affects a lot of, my mom, is, depends on Social Security, right? So a lot of people depend on that, worked hard for it, worked 50, 60 years for it, right? And then, targeting our children, right? I believe both of you guys are fathers, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm not yet one, but of course, having, stepchildren and nieces and nephews, right? Like, that's a big deal, and that they're affecting our children. So shutting down the Department of Education right now, a lot of people are saying, oh, there's actually benefits, statewide. The state has now the control. So yeah, so again, just you guys thoughts on him looking to run for a third term is, obviously him and Musk's performance thus far, if it is even a performance. And then yeah, just them attacking the old and the young. Right.
I'm not like, first of all, like, only reason I want Obama, if he was to run, I don't think we getting that first, second term Obama. I think we getting swag Obama, because it's a different Barack when he be out here. He free, he moving different. So if he was to do it, I think it would be different. I think he'd be like, fuck it. Like, right. I think that's how he would be. As far as Trump, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even him saying that, like it doesn't, like, it's just what he do. Like, everything's gonna be shock value, because it's like smoke and mirrors, you know what I'm saying? And like, at this point, I think what brings me joy is watching the people who supported him, the ones a new article every day, like, oh, I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cry their tears and just be like, well, welcome to the shit show, y'all. But I don't know, man. I don't got much energy for that dude, man. But Obama should be allowed to run again, because I think it'd be dope. But I do want to end it with this. I said this to my wife, and I'm saying it again. That man is so pressed and hurt by Barack Obama. Because if I'm right, didn't Obama beat him when they ran? Or was they? Or did they run together? Or was something?
Nah, that Trump didn't go.
No, I think he was mad. He probably got presidency. I can't remember it all, but he probably was more mad. He's so pressed that Obama is like the first, and then what he did, that people loved Obama so much that he want to be loved like that. He want that love. It's like when Draymond said to Paul Pierce, "They don't love you like Kobe."
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Man, it's just sad, fam. And I think if he ran against Obama, I think your man would get washed, like, for real. So I don't even think it'd be no competition. So he definitely smelling himself. And as far as, with the whole education thing, as far as Oklahoma goes, we're 49th in the nation. So that's all I gotta say about that. So it was like, just like that said, I ain't got the energy, man, because every day is something new. Literally every day. So I'm just riding the wave, fam.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of sad that, we have come to that point, right, where it's like we really don't care. Like, it is what it is at this point, right? Yeah. Like, the people, not, us, but, people out there voted for this, thinking that, I don't know how you thought it was going to be something different. I don't know how a lot of people thought, what's her name? Kamala Harris would be so much worse, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just sad that it's come to this where it's just to the point where, like, they're just ultimately doing what they want to do, and it's robbing the people. Let's just call it what it is. They're robbing the people. And it's sad that you have to attack the young minds and the elderly. You're attacking basically the weak. That says a lot about your character. Yeah. So it's just sad. But so Des, I'm curious if you've seen the Target decline and how you feeling about that right now.
I had a conversation with my sister on it, and I said, I'm not surprised they're going to get the brunt of it, because every movement needs a face, and for the face of what's going on there, it's Target. So Target's going to get the brunt of it, but everybody else is still moving business as normal. I still stand by how I feel. I'm like, I think until we can figure out how to strategize a little bit better, I like I said, I think the DEI has been so weaponized. I'm about scrapping it. I'm not saying scrap diversity for people who are going to keep those who do inbox me. Like, I'm just saying scrap it, because for me, it's like how they use woke. You know, remember woke was our thing, and now they weaponize it like that, and it's like, all right, well, you can have that. We'll come up with something else. So I think for us as a people, particularly for Black people, me and Gary, I think I was in your inbox talking about this not that long ago. Just tech. Yeah, you know, and like I think it's just about strategizing, and I think that's more important. I think small pocketed boycotts for those who are going to do it, like you, like Rock, my sister, like y'all people. If y'all gonna do it, y'all done. Y'all ain't gonna go back, and that's just what it is. Like, and I think that works for like y'all, but everybody else, I look at them like the NFL protester people. Like, it's like, yeah, you was with it for a minute, but you weren't serious.
Right.
And I think until we can be, and I hate to say the same, I don't mean as a collective, just as Black people. I think until we can get serious about how we move in, and I'm gonna say this: they don't want us occupying technology, because that right now it's such a level playing field. They don't want Black people to level up like that. It's the same way when you go look at how I feel with education. Why do you think they're now saying degrees are meaningless now? Because the amount of Blacks who started to go get them. And so you got to see how that, so wherever they want to move the needle, that's when we show up. If they say, oh, golf is the thing now, guess what? We about to golf and show up at the shit. And like, and they just gonna we gonna make them run until they get tired. So I just think at the end of the day, I'm not surprised Target got hit, and because they are the biggest culprits of it all, because they shouldn't have said shit. They should have just stayed still. Chase, I want to say this. I think it was Chase Bank, JP Morgan. So I think they did good by rewording it. I don't think they said DEI. I think they said DEO, diversity opportunity or something like that. It was like something they did, and just to get around it. And that's what Target and I think a lot of companies could have did, because DEI is going to be is just a troubling word, because it's been weaponized. It's always been weaponized, and I think that's where we got to stop being so reactive and more proactive.
Yeah, what you think, Gary? What you think about the protests that are happening, right? Starting with the Target, starting with the Amazons, the weekly boycotts that are happening. Do you think that can ultimately make a difference, right? Especially when you already have billionaires who already, have their money pocketed in a sense.
Right. I think it's more about the consistency of how long it goes on. Usually when it comes to things like this, based on like what I've always witnessed, I feel like it was always short term. So I always feel like the longer it continues to go and it actually hits their, that they'll actually see change and damage and what's going on. Because at first when I saw about the whole black guy this, that, and the third, I was like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then see it still continue on till now. I was like, I'm actually surprised by it. So I just want to see where it goes. And for me, I'm noticing that I couldn't even tell you the last time I've been to Target, because I used to go to Target on the regular too, like heavy. So I couldn't even tell you the last time I've been to Target.
All right, I'm going for all of us, y'all. It's up the street. Rock get out here, he gonna see it.
Yo,
keep hope alive, brother.
Rock gonna get out here, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop and I was like, hey, I gotta run in here real quick.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. My lady, she loved Target, and like we haven't been, all this year pretty much. Yeah. But it's just like we notice how much money you save again when you're just not doing that extra spending. So
exactly, yeah.
It's also a benefit to that. So as we pivot, right? I'm not sure if everybody out there has heard the case of Selena Maria Chandler Scott. Okay. So this woman right here, all right, again, Selena Maria Chandler Scott. Okay. Scott is facing felony charges, okay, after suffering a miscarriage at 19 weeks. Okay, but the state of Georgia is stating that ultimately she disposed of the fetus, pretty much, after she had the miscarriage or had a miscarriage, pretty much just disposed of the baby And they tried to say that the baby had taken a breath and established life. Now, in her defense, she's saying no, that did not happen. Medical doctors are saying no, the baby did not establish a breath, et cetera, et cetera. So sad across the board, right? So listen, like, the woman had a miscarriage, which I'm sure most women don't want to have. And then after that devastating loss, now you're potentially going to prison for a very long time, right? But this is about a bigger picture in which states, in the way that they oversee and control women's rights and women's right to choose, and women's right to proceed with a pregnancy or not, right? It feels like very Handmaid Tales-ish, right? I know a lot of people talk about that show and the message that show ultimately sends about control and having control over women and their body, right? Just, wanted to get y'all thoughts. Gary, we can start with you, and just as far as how do you feel about that in the bigger picture sense with the states, right? Obviously having autonomy to feel like, hey, we can, be pro-life, against life, but also are we protecting the women involved in that as well, right? I understand wanting to protect the child, unborn or born, but how does that then affect the women who, in this case, again, suffering multiple losses here, right? Like losing your child and now potentially losing your spirit and your soul, but potentially going to prison. So, I know it's a sensitive topic, but hey, this is the HL podcast, right? And it's a very sensitive situation, and I think we should speak on it. So yeah, Gary, what's your thoughts, man?
Just like you said, super duper, very sensitive subject. I've known people for as long as I can remember who dealt with miscarriages. And my thing is, with this situation alone, I'm confused about what the government, the lawmakers, what they be wanting when a miscarriage happens. So if I'm not mistaken, when the miscarriage happens, it's just sitting there, not alive, right? Like they're just sitting there, right? So I'm like, what do these individuals expect, especially for somebody like her to have that miscarriage around 5 months, which is just about a little over halfway into the 9-month period. So that's the whole confusion when it comes to that, outside of the fact that they're definitely trying to control what they do with themselves. And then it goes deep into a state-by-state basis, because the opposite, or no, I'm not gonna say the opposite of a miscarriage, something like an abortion in Texas, especially at the time, like around I was in high school or college, if you had more than 2, you would go to jail, no questions asked.
Wow.
Abortion wise, and this was a while back around, like I said, around high school and college, so there's no telling if it changed between that time, because it's been just about 20 years. So that's my thing too, just state to state, how is this working, just for something so simple to a woman having a miscarriage and just expecting an individual just to keep it there, just sitting around dead inside your body. And then in her situation, but like I said, just a little over halfway into the 9-month period. That's just like, man, like when you had the subject list, like I was looking over that over and over and over and over, and that's what I just kept thinking to myself, like state to state is different. The time frame when I was at work, like I said, around high school and college, so it's just like, man, I do hope things get better when it comes to this, because stuff like this is just so like unimaginable, like what that individual, and she's young, right? I didn't catch you.
Young.
She's super young on top of that too. So you're dealing with a miscarriage and the majority of your life being taken away for you making a choice that you wanted to make. And that's just, man, it's just like, yo, that's super duper sad.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
I was looking it up, like, I think what Gary said, I just agree with, because it's just sad, man. It just goes back to resources, and like I just hate the fact, because all I'm thinking about is like, dang, she didn't feel like like supported like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And not comparing them. Let me say that, but just it goes back to that father who left his kids at McDonald's. He didn't have nobody there to help. Like
Saw that yesterday.
You know, so you see these situations, and it's like, dang, she got to carry that like the rest of her life. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You don't have nobody to really stand in your corner to advocate for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the bigger issue. But yeah, man, it's just sad, like, because there's always life happening within life that we don't get to see. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I think for me, it's just more about her not being protected and supported. It just bothers me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And listen, hey, you know, we praying for you out there, Selena. You know, thoughts and prayers are with you. And it's just what's sadder is that we continue to keep not learning from our mistakes, and that you shouldn't have control or autonomy over another person, i.e. slavery, right? You know, like that's basically borderline slavery, having a feeling like you have ownership of how a woman can choose whether or not she, you know, and we all know the stories, right? Of this could happen, that can happen, the different situation. Or just, hey, I mean, shit, medically, right? You know, where a woman could, you know, have a serious medical condition and can't afford to have a child. Like, you know, just a lot of different things where it's just sad that our government, federal or state, continues to involve themselves in that realm of the human body, the human spirit, instead of focusing on the issues. I don't know, the economy. I don't know, making sure we get free healthcare. So maybe this shit wouldn't even be an issue, right? Like, let's focus on certain things like that that'll help solve problems instead of, you know, constantly creating one. There should be no reason why this young lady is looking at facing federal charges and going away to prison for a long time. It's just absolutely absurd.
It's absurd. That's not justice. That's control, though. That's control.
Yeah,
they call it justice. That's crazy.
Yep. People, gonna pivot now to the final four. All right.
You know, Gary ready.
We got the women's is set. We got South Carolina, UCLA, and UConn. All right. It's still UCLA. I mean, it ain't USC, but you know, y'all still represent it. You know,
we are. We was robbed. Take my ACL, Juju.
How does that work when it comes, like, you ride for USC, but UCLA be doing good just across the board, like, no matter how does that work?
I've always been I'm naturally, like, because I was closer USC. But you know, Aspen, he's thinking about going to UCLA. So you know, yeah. So he, you know, he goes back and forth. I think because he saw Kendrick at UCLA, so he want to go now. But like, so it's like that's not why we pay for college. Like,
right.
But it's just like anything. You gonna rep the whole thing.
Hold up though. That was us when College Hill came. I know. Shoot, College Hill stomped the yard. Drumline. I'm like, oh nah.
You ain't lying, because I was. You know
what I'm saying? I wanted to rep Theta Nu Theta in college, and then you get there and realize that shit don't exist. You're like, what the
hell? You ain't never lied. Yeah, how can I join to be your Theta?
Right.
No. But nah, it's like repping either one. You happy to see them win. It's OSU OU out here.
Okay, that's a great example. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I definitely do not ride with OSU. So yeah, that's a great example.
But if they up, you up, right? You know what I'm
saying? Sure. Right. Then we got the men's. All right, we got Florida, Auburn, Duke.
Go. Come on, Des.
All right,
go Houston.
So women's, right? Again, South Carolina, Texas, UConn, UCLA. I think the matchup is South Carolina and Texas, and then UConn and UCLA. Yeah, I'm sorry, UCLA and UConn, and then South Carolina and Texas. So so who y'all got?
USC. But I you know what, like, I like the women's matchup because once Juju went down, I shut it. You already knew I shut it off. I ain't even said nothing about it. This is the first time I talked about it. So I think nobody's beating South Carolina. Hopefully UCLA will beat UConn just off the strength in GP. But I don't think nobody's beating South Carolina. And if they do lose, in my perfect Cinderella story, it will be Juju to beat them when she comes back, then leaves and gets drafted by the Sparks. Period.
I got UConn. I got UConn. It's something, fam. And I was really thinking about this, and that's why I kept looking down at my phone. I want to make sure I get Shorty's name right. Her name was Sarah Strong. I think she's gonna be the X factor. Like all around. But I got UConn for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all recall, but UConn beat the brakes off of South Carolina in South Carolina earlier this year. And so to Dez's point, I think if UCLA can beat UConn, then South Carolina. But if it's UConn and South Carolina, UConn gonna smoke them again. I just think like they got their number. UConn got their big three is better than South Carolina's big three. But yeah, if it's UConn, South Carolina, UConn will win. But if it's UCLA, South Carolina, then South Carolina got it.
I don't think there's no bad picks with the women one outside of Texas. I don't see Texas doing it, but like I don't think you're losing going UConn, South Carolina. You can flip Texas or UCLA.
And the men's again. So we got, I think it's Florida versus Auburn. Yeah, Florida versus Auburn, and then Duke versus Houston. You said what?
Houston ain't gonna have a problem, but they gonna be a problem.
The matchup, so I was like, yeah, Duke and Houston.
Yeah, but I like old buddy at Duke, but I don't see nobody beating Houston. I don't think Houston getting the talk that they should get personally. I don't think, and I get it. Oh boy, at Duke, he cold, he nice. You know, I've been following him for a while. Yeah, I ain't gonna hate on him. You know what I'm saying? He nice, but Houston, if he beat Houston, then Duke gonna win that. I just don't. And they knew what they was doing. Putting that one matchup. They knew how they was playing that because Houston should have been on the other side. But
I be forgetting about the matchup. How Western I was like, yeah, I agree with that too. They knew exactly what they were doing, trying to get them out the paint for real. But like, yeah, Houston's my pick too. I got Houston out of them four. They scrappy. I rock with the point guard. Point guard be letting it fly, and you can tell the coach be with it too. And I like that type of gameplay. I was going back and forth between them and Florida. Florida nice too. So if not Houston, I say Florida. But I got Houston. I had them from the jump when you hit us with the subs.
Yeah, I mean same thing with the women. I think if Houston beats Duke, then Florida will win because I think Florida's gonna beat. I think Florida's gonna beat Auburn. Auburn is tough though. They're tough, but they. Like I don't like how they've lost games. Florida is also tough, and I think they could just shoot a little better. And they've been in tough games where they had to come back and scrap, especially within this tournament. But if Duke beats Houston, I think Duke is beating either Florida or Auburn. But if Houston wins, that opens up the door for Florida to win. So, but Duke and Florida, that's just the classic, matchup. That we're. If it's Houston and Auburn, I mean that's cool, but how they want the story. It's got for real. I mean, because if you look at you might have Cinderellas, but ultimately it ends up being Kansas versus Kentucky. Duke versus North. It ultimately ends up that way, and that's how it's shaping up in this one, I think. But yeah, we're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting. Special shout out to Des mentioned her earlier. Juju. Hopefully she.
My ACL.
Right. Wishing her a speedy recovery, and congratulations to her winning women's college basketball player of the year. Player of the year. I think it's the, I forgot what they call that award on the women's side, but she won
Naismith Award.
Is it the Naismith and women? Okay. But yeah, congrats to her again. Yeah, it sucks because that would have been a great Elite Eight game, UConn and USC. As she played, that would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Yes, shout out to Des too, because he said Juju was staying 4 years, and ever since he said that, I believed him. Literally a week or two after that, she got that real big NIL deal, some type of deal she had got, and then I was like, I got no choice but to agree. After that, she about to run it up all 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, you real quick, you getting NIL money, which will probably be more money than you make in the WNBA.
There you go.
So I might as well get the money and get my education.
Nike deal, Gatorade deal alone. Nike deal and Gatorade deal alone. So ain't no telling what else. So yeah. Run it up all 4 years.
With you Riddance and like you gotta realize like with Juju, like I mean I didn't see the injury happening like this, of course, but like I did see Juju staying. It makes more sense for her to give us this is her sophomore year, right? So we get Juju her junior year, possibly dip, or we get her senior year because now really it makes sense for her to. She gonna need another year, so I don't expect them to be. I don't know who we losing this year. I got to go back and look, but like I don't expect them to be like. I expect them to be competitive with her, but really it's her senior year. She can come back. She's already gonna be one of the top, college athletes, and then you got Aaliyah Chavez coming too. And you're gonna have some people. You got old girl from Notre Dame. That's what I'm saying, North Carolina. Notre Dame, who's leaving. So you got more people moving around. So the competition.
Yeah. I forgot about her.
Olivia something. I think that's her name. Olivia something. I can't name it. She cold though. But like, yeah, it's about to be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. What isn't nice? These grown men not being able to get along. All right.
Hey, can I say something right quick?
Yes. Please.
I absolutely love when Bron turns into a villain.
Yes.
Or when he's on troll time.
Yes.
When they lost their finals and he told that man and he basically was saying, I'm rich and y'all gotta go back to y'all 9 to 5s. All the hate went out the window. And then that second year with the Heat, fam, I was rooting for them because he was
the Warrior shirt. Remember that?
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. So I had to put that out there. I love when LeBron is on villain time.
Yeah, and he's definitely on demon time now. Because this man went on Pat McAfee, and we all know that Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee apparently had some type of argument. And remember, Pat McAfee used to make an appearance on Tuesday on First Take, leading into his show. After that argument happened, they sliced that and they didn't promote the show. Like, they'd be like, oh, coming up next to Pat Mac. They stopped doing that, right? So they've been beefing ever since. So it's a calculated move by LeBron. But again, it was after LeBron approached Stephen A. Smith after the game. Was it like 2-3 weeks ago now? And this is carried over because Stephen A. Smith's ego and pride can't seem to let it go. All right, dude. You had your opportunity. This reminds me of Chris Rock and Will Smith. Okay, where Chris Rock. I'm sorry, you had your opportunity to do something. I understand. You want to be professional. It's the Oscars and and you were probably shocked as shit. But then don't come back saying, oh, me and my brother would have did this, and then go on stage and you do your, all right, we get it, But at the end of the day, you had your opportunity right then and there to do something, Stephen A. And he's been on a podcast, radio tour, milking this shit up with what he would have done, should have done, could have done. What is it? Jackson 5, Jackson 5, MJ 5, High 5, Lakers in 5. All right. Like, yo, like, come on, Stephen A. Like, at the end of the day, dude, talking about you would have, what he say, he would have slapped him, or he would have threw hands, had LeBron threw hands. Again, it's easy to say all of that now, but his ego was shot, man.
I didn't want to address this publicly. I didn't want to address this publicly. But since everybody's talking about it, right? Well, first of all, he heard me originally. I didn't think LeBron should have addressed him publicly. I thought LeBron could have handled that differently, and it was done. Stephen A. said what he said, it was done. But what I love what LeBron said after that Taylor Swift too, because I'm telling you, after I saw it on First Take, I said, okay, Stephen A. said, I thought it was done. I didn't think it would be nothing. And then when I saw him on Gilbert Arenas and he was a little bit more reckless, and then I saw him again, and I was like, yo, you switching up your story, bro. And you switched up everything you was saying. And then it was like LeBron James alive. But here's where my part is Stephen A. Smith. You're going to try to sit up and use my boy Kobe Bryant. And you're going to try to use Kobe talking about he wasn't at Kobe's. What kind of low, just person are you? And people like that tick for tack spirit,
that's exactly
it is, bro. It really is. That showed me everything I need to see, because I didn't even watch First Take. I heard about him saying it when he released the apology. I said, what are you apologizing for? And then I looked up like, wow, bro, that's how hurt you was because LeBron did what he did. And I want to be very clear on this. I don't know who LeBron James is, like most of us behind the scenes. LeBron can be the biggest asshole in the world. But last time I checked, y'all called the biggest asshole in the world the GOAT could be competitive. But when LeBron says something, you know what I'm saying? It's what Moneybagg Yo say. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. And that's what you really see. Because LeBron, I ain't never seen LeBron do an interview. I don't never see him go do stuff like that. And then people like Perk, I deleted his number. They wouldn't call you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of the whole we mad and hurt at LeBron James. And I get it. If LeBron is doing stuff behind the scenes, I apologize. That's on me. But just from public view, what we see, and that's what I'm going off of, y'all look messy, you look tacky, and what it really shows, LeBron really put a chip in that little media armor that they had, where they felt invincible, because they would say some stuff. Now look at everybody else. They're all defending Stephen A. in some way and saying LeBron was wrong. He shouldn't have handled it like that. But when MJ does it, it's cool. When MJ's an asshole, it's cool. Oh, he shouldn't have been that, making the post and doing all that. Get all of them out of here. Go retire. Go sit y'all old asses down. Get some new people up in here, because I'm over it. Charles Barkley, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Real.
I don't even know why they brought y'all back, because I really only like
LeBron. Because LeBron. Now see when LeBron
these idiots on TV. These idiots. Everybody's an idiot but me, ain't Chuck? Just shut your ass up. Good for LeBron. Good for LeBron.
Facts.
Yeah, he ain't had time for that. I was like, yeah, it's WWE for sure. I love it. Y'all like it, I love it. Like I said, LeBron on villain time, I'm for it. I can't stand Stephen A. A lot of times. I even listened to it. His book was good.
It was. I read it too. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all the shenanigans, fam. I ain't been with that. It's been like that for a minute. I've been. That's that. I don't rock with it like that. So I just keep it at the clips, keep it up to date, what's going on, and keep it moving.
Yeah. And we all know what it is, right? The man, he just got paid, right? He feeling on top of the world. But here's the thing, Stephen A. Here's what you fail to realize. Who owns ESPN? It's Disney, right?
Yep.
So Disney, ESPN, you want to be the face of ESPN. Okay, well, this is what comes with it. And that is why LeBron approached you, right? As a black man, as a black father. Dude, you're getting a little too personal. And because you are the face of a network, of a channel, you have a responsibility to, speak the truth, to also, because people forget, if you missed it, LeBron said again, like, yo, I don't want to, like, what did he say? I was reading his lips, but he said, I shouldn't have to tell you again, bro, or something like that. So to Stephen A. Smith's point, he is a liar, because they apparently talked, and Stephen A. Smith tried to come out and say, Maverick could have called me, and Rich Paul could have called me, and and we could have all had a conversation or something like that. But LeBron said again, meaning clearly y'all probably did talk behind the scenes, and now it's to a point where, like, dude, we talked, or my people reached out to your people, whatever, cease and desist, and you're still talking about it. Now I have to approach. People missed that part as well. So Stephen A. Smith, again, he's just trying to trying to do a rewind. And again, his pride and his ego is shot. But real quick, Des, I know you're a Gemini. Gary, what is your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo. Okay. Stephen A. Smith is a Libra. All right. I'll just leave it at that. All right. Yeah. And so people, as we transition to the real MCs, all right. Some big films coming. All right, let's get to the one that's coming soon. All right. Sinners. This is coming out in 2 weeks, right? April 18th. It's gonna be an incredible film. Again, I am anticipating white people getting their heads cut off. All right. I'm anticipating a undertoning of Jim Crow and enslaving the spirituality, right? I heard one. I think either Gary or did one of y'all sent out. I think it was you, Gary. And somebody said it's like an Avengers movie.
Two post-scene credits.
Yeah. So
after the credits,
yeah, and that's interesting. So that makes me think, okay, i.e. Black Panther, but rated R, right? Because obviously he did Black Panther. That's a Marvel movie. So, what are what are y'all thoughts, man? What are y'all anticipating? What do y'all want to see? We already get to see Josh Allen, Josh Allen's girlfriend, all up on Michael B. What else do y'all want to see in this movie? Like, we seeing a lot of veteran actors, a lot of new actors and actresses. But yeah, what are y'all anticipating?
I'm excited to see it. I'm gonna take Sheena and Aspen. I'm looking forward to getting that movie review going that week. That's the goal, to try to get everything going. I think it's gonna be good. I don't have high expectations. I don't have low expectations because they don't miss, to me personally. But I'm just excited to see how it comes together, because they give you enough, but they haven't given us too much. Like, everything is like this mystery about it. So we're hearing Avengers type stuff. We're hearing like this. We're hearing what it's supposed to be a little bit how Blade. Remember we talked about Blade was supposed to be. R.I.P. Blade, because we finally now know we're not getting a Blade. So
crazy. Man,
that's the biggest drop since we should have ran it on the 1 yard line. but I'm just excited to see the movie. I'm excited to see a combo of two black brothers who got a genuine relationship, and it's the new Denzel and Spike, and I don't know what they're gonna do from here. So
let's start with the root of it, right? So when I first heard about it, and then I saw the description, I'm like, yo, where is this going, right? And then you two start mentioning it and speaking on it more and going deeper into it to where I have a better idea. And then it was the teasers. I'm like, all right, cool. I still don't know what's going on. And then the more recent ones came out, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm about to watch it For real. And then it got to the point where, yeah, I might mess around and on the 18th, I'll be in the theater for one of the first people there, me and my girl watching the front and center for real. But yeah, just like I'm anticipating, I'm looking forward to it. And the more I see of those trailers, the more I look forward to that day coming around. And I'm curious of the other post-credit scenes, especially with y'all's explanation. So I'm even more curious of how that's gonna, where that's gonna go.
Yeah, like Des was saying when we talked about it before, like this is probably gonna be the Blade movie that we should have gotten. It's definitely going to, how Ryan Coogler writes the scripts, is definitely going to be a 2-part movie into one, where you're thinking like how Black Panther, right? We're thinking, Claw's gonna be the villain, and and then how it flipped real quick, and then boom, he kills Claw, and now shit, it's Killmonger, he's the villain, and shit, he's now the he beat T'Challa. Now he it was basically two different films, and so that's what I'm kind of anticipating here. Like, there's going to be a film within the film, obviously some type of undertoning. With the setting of the film too, I think South Jim Crow, so it's definitely gonna be exciting. Go ahead, Dave.
My creative wheels is spinning. Now this is not gonna happen. We've already talked about it. You threw it out there. Rock threw this out first. But now I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. If I'm Marvel, fuck with me with this. You announce Blade is scrapped. You see how Sinners is gonna go, and it goes good. Ryan always said this is the first of many. Then on that second one, you see if you can segue it into Blade. Ain't nobody gonna see that coming. I don't know how you do it, but
yeah.
You talking about on the second one going?
Yeah, the second one because if Sinner can be like an origin of that, because it has nothing to do with Marvel, right? But if you can find a way, this is what I would do: is creatively see what we can connect with, to try to find a middle ground, to build that to that, and let him run with Blade.
That's interesting.
Why not, fam? At this point, especially with the Blade situation, why not, fam? Just hit people with the okie doke, let it, give them the green light and just see where it goes.
Yeah.
And
my thing is, why is Blade even a situation? Like, make it happen.
I'm not understanding too.
Like, what?
Because I'm very surprised how hard people ride for Blade.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on when this is literally what the people want.
Make me a creative director. I would have got it done.
Yeah, the story shouldn't be that hard to tell here. Like, I know they was trying to do like an origin story, like how Fantastic Four, right? It's gonna be primarily set like in the 60s, and then they're gonna do just like Captain America, they gonna do some type of time travel, and now they're gonna be in present day with the new squad fighting Dr. Doom, like. You didn't even have to take it there with Blade. You could have just just had him in modern day, and he's been, fighting vampires on the low. We see that there are vampires out there in the MCU, especially now that they went dark with like the Werewolf by Night and all those different characters, right? Moon Knight, right? Like all those different dark side characters with the spirituality. The mythical and the magic, right? All of that, like Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, right? Like those creatures or characters are out there, and he could have just been fighting them low key, and now they're somehow, some way coming to the surface, and now everybody, I don't know how you split, even if they weren't trying to do the origin story like what Sinners is probably segueing into, it shouldn't be this hard to make that happen. Or tell a Blade story. We saw it done in '98. Shit, honestly, if you really just wanted to just copy '98, I don't think people would be mad. Like for real. They copied. How many times they copied Batman? Like Christopher Nolan just did it differently, but it was the same freaking story as the same Batmans we've seen. I don't get a Godfather. How many times have we seen that story just in different undertone? Lion King, that's a fellow. How many times have we seen that story? throughout movies, right? Like you could tell the same story, just flip it, make it modern day, make it futuristic. I don't know, but shit, like this shouldn't be this hard to come up with a story for Blade. Figure that shit out.
Hey, DC on the way. That's all I'm gonna tell you, because I think if they just announced it, what I saw, if it was true, then the girl they cast for Supergirl, I was like, oh, she cold.
Yeah, and then Jason Momoa, whatever his name, Aquaman, he's gonna be like Neymar.
Yeah.
Neymar character in the DC, and he's gonna be that villain for her in Supergirl. Yep. So yeah, they pushing it. They pushing it. It's really going to be dependent upon the Superman film. Like that's what they're anticipating. Like how that's going.
I'm watching that Superman. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna check it out. Especially like that month is then the new Jurassic Park or Jurassic World comes out, and then the Fantastic Four one comes out. All that comes out in July, so that's gonna be crazy.
I didn't see the last Jurassic. I gotta catch that one because I definitely trying to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was all right.
This is the bullshit I'm talking about. See, I don't be talking to Gary, and then he end up saying some bullshit like this. And this is why we had gaps, Gary. This is why we be having fucking gaps. You were like, oh yeah, I manage Sports Republic. They just ain't dropped no motherfucking music. Nah, it's bullshit like this. This is get your ass fired. How ain't you seen? But you go watch all them damn scary movies. No More Hush, whatever that shit is. And I watched that shit. That shit was trash. Like,
Nosferatu.
Oh man,
this is why I like that.
Hey, Nosferatu was aesthetically pleasing in the theater.
I'm good.
It was trash.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I heard it was a ratty. Man. I heard it was a ratty freak fest. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all.
Hey, you know what's wild about that? It was nowhere near freaky. Like the way people was talking, fam. I was thinking that too. I'm like the way people was talking, and it was nowhere near that at all.
Hey, it got me. But hey, this Michael biopic, I think it's just gonna be fire. The cast is incredible. This is his nephew looking just like him right here. Like,
I forgot about that. I'm tripping.
This is his nephew. Like that's insane. Antoine Fuqua, if y'all don't know, he directed The Equalizers, Training Day, the remake of Magnificent Seven. Just an incredible.
He don't miss.
He don't miss. He doesn't. And they definitely got it right, which we all were anticipating on this casting right here. They definitely got it right. They dropped the pictures for Nia Long, and I forget who's playing LaToya, but they definitely got it right here. I mean, this is on point. It's on point. Everybody was like, "Yo, this has to happen." And they wasn't initially announcing it, right? They said Coleman Dominguez playing the father, Nia Long's playing the moms, his nephew's playing him. The brothers and sisters, they got all them looking alike, but nobody they wouldn't announce who was playing Janet. And then they finally dropped the picture of Halle Bailey, who's gonna play Janet. So, and now they're talking about this film potentially being 2-part, which to me, it's Michael Jackson. It makes sense. He could have 4-part, 2.5-hour films that drop, from September, October, November, December, right? Like this man had, as they say with Jordan or LeBron or Kobe, right? This man had, multiple Hall of Fame careers, right? Do y'all like the 2-part idea? How y'all feeling about Halle Bailey getting casted as Janet and just the anticipation surrounding this film, right? I mean, everybody's talking about, we've seen this with American Dream, the 5-hour, 6-hour movie. I don't think this is going to be anything like that. I think he's going to come from a real authentic perspective in telling this story. What are you guys anticipating about this film? This man took off his, oh shit, he about to get to preaching. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead, Pastor.
I have nothing bad to say about this movie.
Is
movies like this. This is where they fuck up. This is where they fuck up. They don't fuck up all the time with the main cast, and I'm not gonna say because I like the director. That's my guy. I know we got another Equalizer coming. I can't wait. Denzel can give me 20 Equalizers. I'm gonna watch them all.
Oh, hold on, there's another one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be another one coming.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be another one. Yeah.
But here's my issue. Movies like this, yes, they can typically mess up with the main cast, but what's gonna happen is always that extra person you see. So here's my example where I'm gonna give you. We was excited for Notorious. I said, okay, we got the biggie. I was like, and then
I'm saying, yeah, no, you're right. And then when I saw it, I was like, because I'm a Biggie fanatic, and I was so mad.
Then we got there, and then it wasn't just Biggie. Anthony Mackie comes out as Tupac.
Yeah.
So I can't get excited because even I want to watch the Dylan. I love Bob Dylan, and I want to watch the Timothy.
Complete Unknown. Yeah. Timothy Chalamet. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to watch his biopic. I ain't watching the Whitney. That shit looks trash. But I watched the Bob Marley. It was great. I thought I enjoyed it.
That was pretty good. I was surprised.
But where they gonna fuck up with me when we get to Thriller? If you're gonna make it 2-part, and when you come out, whoever playing Quincy is gonna be my Anthony Mackie Tupac moment, because that's gonna let me know if this shit is legit. All right, it's like, damn, y'all done fucked this up.
That's a hold up. That's a great question, because they got Lorenz Tate playing Barry Gordy, which, and if you see the pictures, yeah, he looked just like. I was like, oh shit, he do look just like him. Hold up.
Let me look up this cat. Let me look and see what we looking like.
So they don't have. So is Quincy gonna be in the movie, or you just don't?
He better.
Oh, he better. Yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
you can't have Mike without Quincy.
Yeah,
okay, there's a guy by the name of Kendrick.
Who would play him?
It says Kendrick Sampson. Let's see who he looks like. Let's see who it is. Oh, come on. That's my man from Insecure, who dated Issa Rae. He was suffering from bipolar syndrome.
Oh, you playing Quincy?
Kendrick Sampson. Yup.
Yeah. Why am I catching that?
I ain't going that. Hey, that might be a good one. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
But they can act too. That's gonna be a good one. I don't know.
Okay.
All they gotta do is
okay.
All they gotta do is put the little Quincy fro on them.
Yeah.
Hey,
we gonna see.
That might be all right. Yeah, I think they really hitting with the cast. Like they getting them. They sound like it. Yeah, they getting great actors and actors, and then they really making. I mean, I was shocked with Nia Long. I was like, really? And then when you see her she looked just like Katherine Jackson. Coleman Domingo is cold, right? Like, and he can act. I mean, he can do any role for real. Like, and he playing his father. Like, yeah, like that's. I don't know, man. This.
So what's my man's name? Flex Anderson. Shout Flex Anderson. The greatest Michael Jackson ever. Just be very clear on that.
Ooh, wow. No, Jason Weaver. Jason Weaver best Michael Jackson.
Jason Weaver. Oh
Jason
my
Weaver.
goodness.
Yeah. American Dream.
The
Flex, that one was just terrible, bro.
It was horrendous.
Why they do that to? And yo, I'm sorry, his career never recovered.
Hey, 1 million%.
Like, that's crazy.
It makes or break you. Biopics make or break you.
Where do y'all put the Jackson 5 movie as far as movies when it comes to like the biopics, the biographies, the true stories or whatever?
It's the greatest biopic I've ever seen because it was the first one I saw personally, and to me, it is probably the best biopic. I'm trying to think of all the ones I've seen. The Doors one, shout out to Val Kilmer who passed. That one was good with Jim Morrison.
Yep. Ray, Jamie Foxx.
Ooh, the greatest biopic was Ray. I forgot because Ray was cold. Jackson 5 would be second then. But Nostalgia Jackson 5.
That's what I was like. I was like, I wouldn't argue if with something like whatever, what you just put over that. I was like, but it's just like the Jackson. So I was curious because Jackson 5 is up there. If it's not one, it's definitely two.
It's that one's that's like Temptations.
I was about to say Temptations.
Oh, wait a minute, now you bring it up.
Shoot, I could keep going. The Billie Holiday one with Audra Data dropped. That was good.
I never watched that one because I'm
Malcolm X, Denzel.
I guess yeah. Oh, you know what? We're not gonna make it just. I was thinking just music, but if we take it out because it is biopic, Malcolm X is probably the one. Denzel did that.
Yeah.
Ray was cold though too.
Ray was cold. I think Ray was really good. Ali, Will Smith, Ali. Selma.
I mean, technically, The Pursuit of Happiness is a biopic.
Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep. So yeah,
Ali too. Yeah, you said that one.
But yeah, the Jacksons though. Yeah, that one. That I'll never forget the swimming pool. Michael, Jermaine, who is in the swimming pool? I'll never forget. Yo, he killed that. He killed that part. Hey, shout out to I forget my man's name. Cooley High.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forget my man's name.
Whoa, yeah, he killed that role.
Yeah, he killed that
We
role.
may have to make that a post. I may have to sometime remind me if it's not next week. I'll turn it into a post. We'll see what the people say. You know what I'm saying? I'll tag y'all.
Yeah, no, shoot, that might be our next top 5 or 10. And speaking of our top 5 or 10, all right. So again, we saw it's a picture out there with the late greats Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince, and also the living in Janet Jackson, right? And so everybody was like, "Oh, what would you call this concert?" Right? I called it the sensational tour. I think all 4 of those artists are sensational, talented, can sing, entertain, all of that, right? But that got me thinking, which concert would we attend?
Yeah, I gotta pull up the listing on this one.
And so the first concert is those 4 that we just spoke of, right? I'm leaving. I couldn't find one with all 4 of them with Janet in it, but Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince, and Janet Jackson. That concert, 1992. Okay, so we're 1992. All of them, especially Michael and Prince, are at their peaks. Whitney Houston is just dropped the Bodyguard soundtrack. Janet Jackson just dropped Rhythm Nation, right? We talking all of them at their peaks in 92, right? So we got that one. This picture I couldn't believe I found, but I found it. This is awesome, right? You got Snoop, Dre, Pac, Nas, and Biggie in 1995. All right, so we already know in 95, Dre and Snoop, they running the West Coast. Biggie and Nas just stepping it in for the East Coast, right? Dr. Dre's one, and then Tupac then, immediately joins Death Row, and that, just blew up from there. Another one, you got Wu-Tang, right, with Redman, Naughty by Nature, in Cypress Hill, all right, in 1996. Okay. All right.
That's crazy.
You got our modern day Big 5, all right, and Drake, Cole, Nicki, Future, K-Dot, all right, in 2024. So last year they would have had this concert, right? And then finally, A Tribe Called Quest, Outkast, who else I put in here? The Roots, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, all right, in 2002. All right, so the Roots would have just dropped Things Fall Apart. Erykah Badu would have just dropped Mama's Gun. Who else was dropping? Outkast had just dropped Stank On Ya, right? Like, yeah. So yeah. So again, which concert would you attend? All right. So the first one again, Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson in 92. All right. Biggie, Pac, Nas, Dre, and Snoop in 95. Okay, let's say right after the Source Awards, right? In 95, the infamous Source Award.
Mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang Clan, Redman, Naughty by Nature, Cypress Hill in 96. Our Big Five and Kendrick, Drake, Cole, Nicki, and Future last year. All right. Or A Tribe Called Quest, Outkast, The Roots, Jill Scott, and Erykah Badu in 02.
I can tell you which one I would go to. I can tell you which one I wouldn't.
I already know which one you going to. It's
which one?
Which one? That's why I'm looking at my phone. Number 2, the second list: Biggie, Pac, Nas, Dre, and Snoop.
That's a strong pick. That is not my one. That is not my one. You about to learn something new about me today.
Hey, hold on, Phil. You better not say my answer either. Go ahead.
So it was hard because number 5, me and my wife, in our wedding rings, we have from the song I asked her to marry me to, Tribe Called Quest, Can I Kick It? It says, Can I Kick It inside our wedding ring.
Did say that.
So that's not my pick though.
Yeah.
It was hard because I was leaning towards that. So 5 is off my list. 4 is off my list because we got Nicki and Future in there. If it was just the big 3, even though Kendrick said it's a big beat, I probably would have go. I don't care too much, even though Nicki got some songs I like, but I don't really want to see her in concert. That's just how I want to see.
You go.
I'm going to see Wu-Tang, literally June. So I'm like, Redman, and I don't really care for Cypress Hill like that. And not saying they ain't dope for them Cypress Hill fans. Now, the one Gary picked, I don't care to see Dre in concert. I don't. I love Dre, but I don't like to listen to Dre like that. But my number 1 was number 1 because you know why? Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson is one of my all-time favorite albums. And Whitney Houston is my all-time favorite singer. And Michael Jackson's Thriller is the greatest album, I believe, created today. If you ask me tomorrow, I'll pick another one. And then it's fucking Prince.
Yeah.
So that's my number 1.
Oh man, this was a tough one for me, fam. So when you asked me earlier about my sign, this is funny that you asked me that because my Virgo mind kicked in. So what I originally did is I based the year off of my.
Okay.
And then I also based it off of experience from others around me. So for instance, my mom saw Prince in Denver.
Okay.
And my mom said Denver basically shut the building down on him. And he said, F y'all, I'm still going to play anyway. And he played for like an extra hour or 2, and they didn't do nothing about it. So they was letting him do his thing.
Wow.
And then it's like MJ fan, like that's MJ, right? So then I'm going down the list, right? I'm like Biggie, Pac, Nas, Dre, and Snoop. I'm like that show would be cool, but that just wouldn't be the first one I go to. Yeah. And then the third one is the same thing like this, Phil. Like third is cool, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would pick number 4. I would go to the 2024 concert, and one of the main reasons why is I'm not a real big concert goer, and it's not by choice. It just happened that way. Yet I went to one of the greatest tours ever that people probably don't talk about, which is the Rock the Mic tour. You remember who was all on that? Rockefeller, literally everybody from Rockefeller. Mm-hmm. Shady Aftermath, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, Sean Paul, Fabulous. I think that's it. I feel like I'm missing like 2 more, but the whole lineup was crazy. Yeah. Let's go. I put that in the mix too. But so I would say number 4. I would say number 4 for sure. Because the majority of them I haven't seen in concert. Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, like they're on my list to see them live. So I might as well, especially with it being last year, I might as well just make it that one out between the 5.
You want to see Kendrick in June?
This was definitely number 3 is out.
It's just not enticing.
Yeah.
I mean, Biggie is my favorite artist of all time, so I would love to see that. I wish I could have saw him live. Shit, I didn't even think about it. So I'm looking at this shit. I'm just a soulful guy, man. Tribe, Outkast, The Roots, Jill Scott, Eric. That shit would touch my soul. And I'm actually going to The Roots. Yeah, go ahead.
I saw The Roots too. I saw The Roots at the Gathering Place. I don't know if you saw this when they was there.
Yeah, they did come out here. They coming back again though.
Yeah, I ended up just falling in, and I caught them right at the beginning. Played that whole time, but they played a part of why I didn't go 5-2.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm going out to the Roots picnic. So that's gonna be crazy. So yeah, I'll get to finally see them. But yeah, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
It's a tie between 1 and 5 because MJ to me is he's up there with Biggie, like 1-2 artists. Anita Baker is my favorite singer of all time. And then Prince, like you said, Prince is Prince. I mean, Purple Rain is the greatest musical of all time. I don't care what nobody say. Purple Rain is a musical and it's the greatest of all time.
I love that movie. I love Purple Rain.
And it is I don't see how people. I understand a typical musical is we're talking and then and ha 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 ha, and then you break down into no. It still had musical hymns. It still had a musical undertoning. It is a musical. All right, Purple Rain, the greatest one. All right, Whitney Houston. Like, come on, and then Janet Jackson. I mean, Rhythm Nation.
That's mine.
Rhythm Nation. I think everybody practiced that dance routine. Tried to practice that dance routine. That one, and when her and Michael did Scream, everybody tried to practice. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody tried to practice the dance routine.
Janet Jackson. Let me tell you, Janet Jackson is one of my all-time favorite artists. I love Janet. Yeah. I love Janet. Had the biggest crush on Janet Jackson until I got turned into a teenager and people ruined it for me. When they started saying my mom's look like Janet Jackson, and I took it all. I was like, hell no. Hell no. I was like, you know your mom look like Janet? Oh, shit. No shit. But I love her music. I love her as an artist. She doesn't get the flowers she deserves. And even though Rhythm Nation is my favorite song is The Pleasure Principle. That is the pleasure principle.
And that dance routine, are you kidding me?
Yes, bro. That's my shit. And that song come on, I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. I was like, oh shit.
Right, I'm hitting the whole
but Janet, but
that one.
I don't blame you though on that Roots Tribe, because that one was a tough one for me, because I was like, ooh, Tribe. I get to see Life. I get to see
man. Low End Theory alone. Low End Theory. Oh, take all these, or take their greatest albums.
People with
Low End Theory, Outkast. They perform. What is it? ATL Aliens or The Roots thing hard. Jill Scott, who is Jill Scott? Erykah Badu. Badu is. I mean, come on. They just perform those alone. That's just man. I ain't even gonna go there.
Man, I'm gonna say this too. Going back to Janet Rhythm Nation, that was the first music video I ever paid that first album I ever really paid attention to, because aesthetically, even that wasn't being used in. I ain't never saw nothing like that. I thought that shit was like, I was like, yo, how she commanded on that fucking project. And I was like, Tyler the Creator, his new shit was kind of, it reminded me of that. Like how he did it. He kind of had that like vibe like that. Like not the album itself, but just the aesthetic of how he put it all together. I was like, yo, shit.
But to Gary's point though, I think the Kendrick, if they were all cool, the Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, Nicki, if they were like tight how they was, I think that would just be like a fun concert. Like they would just be up there having fun, like just break out in the freestyles and like, and they all got bangers. So
they can give us a concert.
I was say I'm real big on trap. Like trap is my favorite subgenre of hip hop. So it's like that plays a part too. So those two out, like hearing Future and Metro alone in the stadium, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
You know what would make interesting? The reason I didn't choose the Biggie Pac one, I just didn't want to be in the vibe of. If it depends what year it is. If it's now, I would go to that. If it's 92, I ain't going to that concert at all. Like that's how I was thinking. And then the Kendrick Drake Cole one, I think I just Nicki, she got that I wish that moment for life song. That shit that get me every time. She got some bangers. Nicki had a lot. Future, that's my nigga anyway. I just fuck with Future heavy. But like, I think I would want to see Kendrick, Drake, and Cole personally. The whole thing is dope, but it's just I want to see them, which I am telling you, I still believe we'll all get it. It's gonna happen. It is going to happen, and when it do, just remember you heard it here first. Like
cease and desist. That shit is a dud. That shit is a dud. They going back and forth for life. That shit is a dud. It's a wrap. Future and Drake maybe, yeah, but
I'm about to say I got on Drake's shoes right now.
Oh, for real? Oh, don't just go.
Yeah, the nuts is right here.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to throw something at y'all though. If y'all were to pick one artist out of each group to make an ultimate concert, which one y'all would pick? One out of each of the one.
Okay, can I go first? All right, I'm gonna go first. MJ, Biggie, Wu, Drake, and give me the Roots. Because if I get the Roots, I'm gonna still get Jill Scott, Erykah Badu.
You got it there. You want me to go?
You can go.
So I would go MJ. I would go Tupac.
Okay.
I would go Wu-Tang. I've seen Raekwon too down here when he was at the Vanguard. Yeah, and Ghostface is my favorite out the crew, so I definitely want to see him. And then I'll pick Kendrick, and then I'll pick Tribe Called Quest. I always rock with Tribe no matter what. And then I relate to Q-Tip so much. I don't know what it is, like his production and his style and stuff. Like I relate to him and like compared to like a lot of producers. So definitely them. That'd be my 5.
I'm gonna go Janet.
I thought Dez was gonna hit us with the die line. Kendrick.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go Janet. I'm gonna go Nas. I'm gonna go Wu-Tang. I'm gonna go Kendrick, and then I'm gonna pick Tribe because I love them. But if they cancel, Jill Scott or Erykah Badu is on standby. Because or you could flip it. Like it's really Erykah Badu or that. Because I think that flavor, if I'm like just the aesthetic, I'm thinking about listening to. I think that covers everybody. Like Wu-Tang already gives you that. They here? Like that's just different. Like on all of ours, it's like Wu-Tang there. Like, so, but I think the feel of it. I think a Janet, and then you jump to like an Erykah Badu. It's like I got a good mix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So who starts it and who finishes it?
Oh, Janet started my concert. Like Janet started because just to go up.
Starting my concert.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's why I said Tribe. So Janet starts it. Kendrick finishes it only because I want to see Tribe Called Quest and Kendrick do a counter at Tokyo.
Okay.
Dang, that's a good question. Who was starting? Who would finish? I got MJ finishing. And I got Kendrick starting.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm gonna start with the Roots. I think they're gonna give us the drums and the just get that energy going. Then you jump to for me Drake after that, and then Biggie, and like simultaneously you do Biggie and then Wu-Tang, of course. They gotta And then of course you got to end it with MJ. I mean MJ gonna shut it down. So yeah, that's it.
And MJ might take the longest because they might be screaming before he even starts.
Right? Nah, for real.
That's why I didn't pick him. I ain't gonna get through my other acts, y'all. MJ fans showing up, they ain't nobody gonna be able to get through. Like, why are they here?
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, for real. People, we're about to end the show with what's the question now. This question we didn't get to earlier, so I definitely wanted to pivot and ask this: is Carmelo Anthony a first ballot Hall of Famer? A first ballot Hall of Famer? Of course, Gary, we already know where you at. So
come on, man.
Please.
So I had to look it up, like what considers first ballot, right? So basically, it's like when they get nominated, they go straight in, no ifs, ands, buts, and it's about accomplishments and impact. Now, by all means, with Melo's situation, it's more impact than accomplishment. I think if he at least had one ring, there wouldn't be no question. But
Right.
in his situation, it's like I'm not comparing him to AI. It's just in the same realm as AI. It was more about the impact more than anything. And I'm just super. I feel like I don't know what it is about Melo. It's like some undertone disrespect. I'm not sure what it is when it comes to what it's about. I'm not sure if it just is because he went from team to team or whatever. But it's just like he's definitely first ballot Hall of Fame for sure. And it really hurts that he didn't get one with Denver. And then finding out that homie got drafted over him for real, he would have at least had 3 with Detroit.
Oh, facts.
Like for real. So yeah, definitely happy for Melo. And he in there.
You know why I love this question? And I'm gonna tell you this because first of all, Melo is when he becomes a Hall of, because he'll be a Hall of Famer. He has something that there's only, as of right now, I can think of the only other Hall of Famer who has it.
It's official. He is a Hall of Famer.
He has been okay. That's y'all can tell how unconnected from the internet your boy's been. But like, okay, yes, he is a Hall of Famer, but he is one of the rare Hall of Famers that's in the AI category where you're actually a Hall of Famer and have a coach and have the culture behind you. Because AI had both. So it's rare to have that where it's like the culture fuck with you and the league can fuck with you. So I think that's what Melo has. So yes, he is, but I always would say when it comes to the Hall of Fame conversation, the reason even if he did not win the title, he would be because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. Remember, he got that college title. And I think that's the one Syracuse won, right? So like I think that is always missed with it because it's a lot of like we forget what they did in college. And it's like personally, I think Jimmy Fredette should be if we go off college, but his impact he couldn't get a minute in basketball. College, we was like, this dude was hot. But ultimately, yes, Melo should. Well, he is obviously a Hall of Famer. He deserves it. Carmelo Anthony, without a doubt, should be one. The question should be when Chris Paul comes up. We gotta check on M-Rock.
I'm glad I like how you pointed out the Syracuse thing too, because that's actually what made me rock with him. Like literally during that season, getting the ring on top of that, like I was following him ever since. That's why I was like, man, it hurts that he didn't get one with Denver, and then like this draft situation, like he did, like I know for a fact he would have at least got one. There is no question that.
But that's too Gary. Like, and I just saying that too, that because that's what they hurt him with. Like we forget how, like because I was seeing somebody say it today about Joel Embiid or AD the other day when AD hurt when he got hit with the elbow, and I was like, y'all forget when Anthony Davis first came in the league, they all was like throwing roses at this dude. Now, he can't stay healthy and all this. I was like, AD is still AD when healthy. Right. And I can, and the amount of basketball some of these dudes have played to just even, that's why LeBron James is like a freak of nature because no major injury when you look at that, and I think when you look at players, let's take a Kemba Walker. He didn't have the NBA career, but in college, that step back, we still is one of the greatest college moments.
Yeah, 1 million.
It's like you look at it and it's like, yo, his impact. And I use the Caitlin Clark argument. Yes, she's a Hall of Famer for what she did for college basketball women, and if she could do it in WNBA, great. But at the same time, somebody goes, she's the greatest women's college basketball. No, she's not. She's just the most well known because of today's society. You look at Stewie and you go down a list. But I think sometimes where I'm getting at is we forget who they were in college because that should count. And it's because, back to Stephen A. Smith, these sports media people only talk about them in the present and forget the resume they had to get to where they're at.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that.
First ballot, sure. If you tally up everything that he's done, including not only Syracuse but the Olympics. People forget about the Olympics as well. Right? He's one of the greatest Olympians besides Kevin Durant at this point. And so the totality of it. Now, would he be in the you got a moth over here? But would he be in the NBA Hall of Fame? I'm not so sure, right? Because y'all bring up Allen Iverson. He did get an MVP, and he did take the Sixers to the finals. That did not happen for Carmelo. Like with Westbrook, he does at least have an MVP. All the other players, right? Charles Barkley at least has an MVP. Trying to think of some other guy. Patrick Ewing. A lot of people get on Patrick Ewing. He at least made the finals, right? I think twice. And so Reggie Miller, same. I mean, people forget Reggie Miller played in the finals against the Lakers, right? You know, so Carmelo, you didn't get to see neither one. You know, you didn't get to see him. Now, of course, he played in the Kobe, LeBron, and then Curry era, and we get it. But you know, you would have just hoped to see that him get some type of big accomplishment because, I mean, that in the Hall of Fame, that matters, right? Have you won an MVP? Have you been, how many times have you been on the first team? But again, if you're adding up everything that he's done, including Syracuse and the Olympics, plus the NBA, yes, to Dez's point, this is the basketball Hall of Fame. And as a basketball player, he has exceeded expectations everywhere he played, even in high school, right? I think at Oak Hill, I think they won a championship. So shout out to Carmelo Anthony. He is in the Hall of Fame. I would not have been surprised if he didn't make it in on the first ballot. I would have understood both, but the fact that he made it in, I also understand that as well. And the fact that it is the totality of your career, pretty much from high school till you retire from the NBA. And so, because of that, definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the totality. And he a first ballot. I don't care what Rock say.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can see it either way. I understand it because of the totality of his career. Now, if they were solely judging on the NBA, he probably would not have been a first ballot.
Yeah, it'd have been shaky if it was in just NBA.
It would have been shaky just to the NBA.
This NBA, it would have been shaky.
He's the man is ninth all time in scoring. The top
first ballot. I'm not saying he wouldn't have gotten in. I'm saying first ballot.
Ninth all time. Once you get the top 10, think about the totality. We say
no brainer. Giannis now, no brain. These are guys that are no brainers.
Jimmy Melo. This is where the argument is like. That's why I say it's so skewed because we're weighing it with a title. Melo, it's based off your career. He is ninth all time scoring. He is a 6-time All-Star. He is if you look at his resume, he has a resume most guys who probably played longer than him would never have.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why the title, first ballot. Here's the reality of it.
But doesn't winning matter too? Y'all brought up Chris Paul. This man just finally got to a finals. I mean, what did he do?
But that's the Olympics. But that's what we count the Olympics for that, right?
But I thought you were breaking down just the NBA. Leave the Olympics and Syracuse out of it.
Okay.
NBA alone. That's what I'm talking about.
No, because the Hall of Fame doesn't have a record-based book about, well, your winning percentage is nowhere in. They don't look at that. They look at, this is what you are. This is what it is. Fans and people look at that. They don't care about that. Because if winning was the metric of what it was, then nobody would get in a lot when you
or at least getting there. Again, y'all brought up Iverson. He at least got there. He just ran into y'all team, Kobe and Shaq. I mean, it is what it is. Like, what did he do with that? He had Dikembe. I mean, you're not gonna beat Dikembe and Shaq, and it wasn't gonna work. He got them there.
But that's moving the metric when you think about it. Like, that's moving because, like, nobody gives you, oh, you at least made it there, little Timmy. No, it's him or you didn't. That's why I said if winning is the metric, then he didn't win. So, like, I think that's why
it's gonna be a lot of guys. There's gonna be a lot of guys we are shocked that they make the Hall just because they got
we are
all-star appearances, and so let's put that. I mean, who?
It's the truth. It is ultimately the truth because at the end of the day, and I think that's why I say it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. You look at the totality of their career, but if we're looking at the NBA, Melo's still first ballot. I mean, he's 9th all time. Some of those guys will never get back close to even get to him. So it's like, so that alone, you know what I'm saying? I could go pull it up. Let me see what we got. I mean, a scoring title is irrelevant to me. I mean, so, but like at the end of the day, what, 10-time NBA All-Star, 6-time All-NBA team, like those are numbers alone that some people
right.
Some people only get one All-Star. He did it 10 times, and that's back in the day when it was cool to be an All-Star. Now it's like
it's also a fan award. People like Carmelo, so people voted him in.
Yeah, but that's back in the metric of the day when it meant something, not when you had like now where they trash it and dismiss it. Because if you look at it, it's always been that kind of fan of award that has been there. But now we sit here and dismiss it because of new age viewpoints on it. That's why I'm saying if we go by the system that is in place, and if you go just NBA, yes, he's a first-time ballot because a lot of people who are in there are nowhere near what Melo has done.
Sure, that's fair.
So yes, first time. If you go by his whole NBA, or not NBA, the whole basketball career, then they really don't touch the motherfucker. Like he is just space. If it's just titles alone, yeah, kick his ass out.
I mean, just like other basketball conversations, we just gonna have a difference of opinion. But it's all good.
I'll catch you when Chris Paul gets in there. Because I'll come back and argue.
Oh my God, that guy! I guess he finally will, since he just made a finals, with Phoenix. So I guess
to your point, give him a participation trophy.
Yeah. All time in steals, no MVP.
And Kobe Bryant's the greatest Olympian of all time. I don't care what y'all say. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better stop.
I saw you put the glasses down when we mentioned it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No, Kevin Durant is the greatest Olympian of all time. He got 4 of them things, and he's the all-time leading scorer. What we saying? What we talking about? He's got 4 of them, and he's the all-time leading Olympian scorer. What are we talking about here?
Was he on that team that Kobe had to come save?
Okay, but.
No, was he on that team? I just want to know.
In 08? No, he was not on that team in 08. That was 08.
Where was he at?
He was in college, I think, or just first year. I think it was first year.
Until he has that moment, stay out of the grown man's business.
But the moment push Al Gasol, I'm going to push my teammate and like, all right.
Don't get mad. Kobe the greatest Olympian of all time. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, KD just hoping somebody retire his jersey. I love you, KD. I like you.
I mean, it will get Golden State gonna retire, man. Golden State gonna retire his jersey.
And they gonna burn it.
Now Oklahoma City probably won't, but
they should.
They should, because he did win the MVP there, which again Carmelo did not. But just saying.
Okay, so you don't love their players. If they did, they would have had Westbrook back. It's the truth. It's the truth.
It too. People. Thank y'all for tuning in. Niggas is tired. All right, I ain't even gonna hold you. All right,
You ain't lying.
niggas is tired. But look, hey, greatly appreciate y'all, brothers, man. Gary, thank you for coming on, man. Des, you already know.
Thank y'all for having me, man. I always enjoy this, even if I'm not on it. I'm always watching it and enjoying it.
We appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, man. So I can't wait to meet y'all, brothers, man. In June,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
It's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Hopefully, we get the we'll finish the winter season with the winter spring season with a special edition. So we trying to cook it up, people. We trying to cook it up. But thank y'all. Thank everybody for tuning in who will watch and tune in later. Please go follow us on IG at the HL Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and on Twitch right now. Normally we are on every Tuesday, but sometimes we got to switch it up. If you don't catch us on this Tuesday, we will certainly be back. Everybody stay blessed. Peace and love.
Stay mellow.